we are back with episode number 19. This is the Die Is Cast. I am the Die of Cast. I am the Die that thou shalt cast. How are y'all doing today? It's good to see you folks. It is, I got my shit upside down looking like a moron, but at least I know how to turn it down this time. And we are recording here. We are recording there. We are a go, baby. No more fuck ups this week, hopefully. Let's see. It is, I don't care the date. It's like August 3rd. Oh, actually, I do care the date today. Sorry, folks. Today is the... was my mom's birthday. So I told you guys my mom passed away. She did. It's been 2018, so carry the two. That's, 6 years? So happy birthday, Mom. She would have been 51, carry the two, 73 this year. Damn, Mama, you getting up there, baby girl. Woo, 73. Wow, it would have been crazy to see my mom at 73. If you had seen her, you'd know that she looked like she was 53, you know? She was a young-looking lady, all the way up into her, till death. Until about 6 months before death, and then it got real. Ooh. But, yeah, so my mom had a little bit of an addiction problem, and she drank a lot and wouldn't stop. And it eventually got her. So, but either way, she was a great woman, and she was a great mom, and I love her to death, and I miss her a lot. And happy birthday, Mom. I love you. Mwah. That's the only kiss I'm going to do, because I said I wouldn't do the kisses anymore, but I think for my mom, I can make an excuse. It's an extenuating circumstance, as they say. So we got all that sappy shit out of the way. How's everybody doing this week? It is August 3rd, like I said, the first week of August. How are my fine folks doing this week? Oh, my God. I had a pretty busy week. Not really, actually. I just lied a little bit. What did I do? Let's see. I went to... first thing I will mention is that I went and saw... Deadpool and Wolverine. I kept last week saying Deadpool versus Wolverine, and I apologize to the devout Deadpool faithful and Wolverine faithful that I called it Deadpool versus Wolverine. It should never be called that. Those are friends, damn it. They would never do that. So, I kept calling it Deadpool versus Wolverine, and then when I was editing it throughout the week, I was like, oh, you fucking moron. You fucking... And, you know, it's one of those. So, yeah. Not a big deal. I came on here this week to correct. It's Deadpool and Wolverine, and damn, was it good. I'm telling you guys. I was excited. I try not to get my hopes up for movies too much anymore because they just always let you down. That's one thing about being a movie fan for a long time is that you realize that, fuck, they sell every movie like it's the greatest. So anytime you're in a movie and you see a trailer and you go, that looks good, you're just fucking buying into their hype. It is in no way... Sometimes you do, like... I hate to bring him up, but Nolan, you can sometimes get a kind of feel for actually how his movie is going to be based on the trailer. Sometimes he'll just like play the audio from one scene of one character talking, and then that just plays over like all these crazy clips or things that give a good, and then they'll always have like some audio element that's actually from the movie or something in it. Or I remember all the Inceptions had that, you know, that shit, and that played into the movie. It was in every fucking movie for how goddamn long. It was a ridiculous amount. So, yeah. So we went and saw that, and, yeah, any trailer that you see is... They're all going to look great. That's the whole point of trailers. They have entire companies that just do nothing but make dope-ass trailers. That make every... I mean, think about some of the shit movies that have come out that you thought were going to be fucking awesome based on that trailer. Right. Well, I've got 20 years of that now. And some of you, I'm sure, you know, have 40, 50 years. Some of you old fuckers, which aren't probably listening, which you should. Yeah, keep up with us young. Anyways, so after you've seen enough movies, you just like, ugh, I don't get my hopes up about anything. And then maybe that's just also the jaggedness of life that you get jaded and you're like, nothing's good. Or maybe that's just American life. Materialistic American consumer life. But, but I was happily surprised. Happily surprised. I must say, as an old gal myself, I was very surprised at how fucking awesome it was. Because it was. It was good. Ryan Reynolds, funny. There was never a point in there where I was like, alright, your shtick is getting fucking old. It wasn't. It was good the whole time. It was just the perfect amount of little quips and little... you know, witty humors and shit, and then, like, just the right... Oh, God, it was so good, and then they introduced... Spoilers, by the way. If you're watching this and you have not seen Deadpool and Wolverine, skip ahead. I'll put a marker at the end. I'll put something in it to let you know how long this goes for, so that if you haven't seen it, you can skip forward. Please do skip forward, though. I'd like you to stay around. You know, it helps me out. But anyways. So, yeah, man, they got a lot of great cameos in it, and cameos that are good if you're a film fan. If you don't know about movies, it's just like, oh, that's cool to see that guy up there. But if you're a movie lover, you know, like, there's all this backstory and shit. Like, they had Channing Tatum. He makes his appearance as Gambit, which if you were watching movies or following movies, you know that forever they were talking about Channing Tatum making a Gambit movie. Wow, that's a little tongue twister. And, 7 geese on a 7 sheep shepherded to it, or whatever the fuck. So, Channing Tatum playing Gambit had long been a gambit of his to try and accomplish or something, and he could never get it off the ground. And when you see the movie, you can, I don't know, I felt like you can kind of see why a little bit. I don't think a whole movie could be driven by this guy. He's got that New Orleans, like, oh, they're gonna do that whatever he do that. They're gonna move the head, take a head clean off out of that. They don't be doing that. It's like that real fucked up English, like, god damn. Were you raised in a cabin in the woods? Did you ever hear anybody speak English? Because what the fuck is that? Oh, yeah, that gator gonna come over the boat there, but he will do that, but dead now with the head now, and knocking it on the head with the who there now. We don't let it do that now. It's like, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Is that English? Sure don't sound like English, goddammit, but it is. And apparently it's like closer to the French. It makes no sense to me, but apparently linguists say that it's very close to the French. Or like an aristocratic French is where it comes from. I've heard that about Southern accents in general, that they all are like, they come from that high class people that came over from England originally, and they had that very high, yes, things are very nice here. And then as they moved over there, and they were, oh yeah, it started to draw out a little bit more like that. Why ever would you try to take my slave? You know. Interesting, though, because when you think of that redneck South accent, it seems backwoods, but apparently it comes from a sophisticated aristocratic society accent or something like that. I don't know. But where the fuck was I? God damn it. I was talking about Deadpool, boom, 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 bang. Deadpool, and yeah, some of the cameos in that were good, and what's his name? Gambit, that's it. He had the New Orleans fucking Creole accent. And it was funny for the little amount that he was in the movie, because you could kind of laugh at him, and even Deadpool laughs at him, of course. Like, what? Who is your dialect coach? And, but then Blade, man. Blade shows up, and it's like, oh, hell yeah. And if you know anything about Ryan Reynolds and Eddie Murphy. Wesley Snipes. Eddie Murphy? What the fuck, Dalton? Wesley Snipes. You know they didn't get along in Blade Trinity, which was kind of Ryan Reynolds' first, like, action movie, and I don't even remember what the hell his character, Kane or some fucking shit. And, yeah, so Blade was in it. And his first line in it when he goes, oh, I thought you were retired. And he goes, retarded. And he's like, no, retired. And I was like, ah, yes. This movie is taking a chance with saying the R word. Retarded. And it's retarded that you can't say that anymore. And yeah, so it was great. It was just funny. It wasn't woke. It wasn't edgy. I mean, it wasn't like too, I don't know, silly. It was perfect, and the cameos are perfect. Chris Evans shows up, and I thought he was going to be Captain America, and I thought it was going to be a reference to him being retired as Captain America. And I kind of forgot, like, that them and Fox joined up, and that the whole Wolverine and Deadpool thing is only possible because of that. But then, yeah, so then he turns into the Human Torch. Reference back to his old shit when he played the Fantastic Four. Johnny Blaze before he became old Captain America. Motherfucker got 2 bites at the apple, goddammit. What the hell's that all about? What the hell? What about us regular folks that don't... I would have been perfect Captain America. Juice me up on steroids, you kidding me? I got the perfect... You don't even have to CG me for the opening scenes. I could have been perfect. Totally believable that I was getting picked on and beat up by everybody there. And then you put me in that thing, shoot me up with that old juice. Not dilaudid. And... woo-wee! But they could have just given me steroids. I would have done lots of steroids for sure to get that role. Are you kidding me? Although I think he's like 6'2". I'm 5'8". That don't really work. Although, Tom Cruise. There's that. He's not that short. I think he's the exact same height as me. A comically short man is the same height as me. That feels great. But, yeah. But also, action star of the fucking world. So, you know what? I'll take it. Okay? But yeah, if they want to throw boatloads of cash at me and juice me up on steroids, I would have been the perfect Captain America. Damn it, you guys went with Chris Evans, a guy that's already jacked. Pfft, what the fuck is the point of that? Doesn't make it believable. I could have actually got jacked for the role. And also have been the small, skinny, scrawny dude. Would have been perfect. I could have been pre-Steve Rogers, post-Captain America Steve Rogers. Pre-Captain America Steve Rogers, post-Captain America Steve Rogers. But you went with Chris Evans, a guy with acting experience who'd already played a superhero. What the fuck? When's a little white boy... I'm sorry. When's a little white boy like me gonna get a chance, huh? Oh my gosh. But yeah, it was really good, man. It was perfect. I'll say that. I shouldn't say that, because then that's going to set up false hopes for somebody to go see it. It was just really good. I thought it was really good anyways. If you're watching this, then I'm giving away spoilers. Chances are you've probably already seen it then. I liked it a lot. I thought it was great. It was funny. Again, spoiler alert, Wolverine pulls over his mask, which is the dumbest, gayest thing in the world that I shouldn't care about. And I didn't think I would care about it. If somebody said, like, oh, and this one he puts the thing on, I'd have been like, who cares? It just looks like two Batmans kissing each other anyways. But when he puts that thing on, it does look like two Batmans kissing each other, by the way. But when he puts that thing on, damn, does he look cool. And the way he just goes into that, like, for killing mostly. It's perfect, man. They fucking nailed it out of the park with old Huey Jackman. Old Jackman Millionaire. They fucking knocked it out of the park with him. He aged perfectly with the character. Was able to stay fucking massive his entire life. Ow! And he's a great dude. Every time you see him, it would be crazy if the dude just fucking is like beating his wife mercilessly. But he doesn't seem to be that way. Him and Ryan Reynolds seem perfect. They seem perfect to work together forever. It sucks. I hope this really isn't the last one. He says it is at the end of the movie, but let's hope there's at least one more. Or maybe not. Maybe leave it at this so that it leaves us wanting more. That's the whole problem with Hollywood anyways. We all go, oh my god, I love that. Give me more. And then when they do it, we go, we've already seen it. That sucked. We wanted more of that, but different. We wanted the same thing, but different. We don't want the same thing over and over again. What the fuck? We thought you knew that. Movies like Hangover. Holy shit. That's just like, they just took script and went, changed the names, changed the location, changed some of the dialogue. We got ourselves a movie, guys. We got ourselves a part 2. We got ourselves a volume 2. And it still is good and it still is funny, but again, we wanted the same thing, but we wanted something that was similar enough to the first one that we go, oh, okay, this is definitely a continuation of that. But different enough that we go like, well, this is like this could have been its own movie, you know? Perhaps it's different for everyone, but like Dark Knight, greatest sequel of all time, if you ask me, motherfuckers. I know Godfather's like the one you're supposed to say, and it is good, but like movies have changed, and I like a movie that's got great drama, great action, cool writing, you know, entertaining. Not that The Godfather isn't entertaining in its own way, but I'm just saying, like in terms of rewatchability, I've watched The Godfather 2 once, all the way through, straight, like beginning to end. That might shock people that are big film fans. Maybe they've sat there and watched it 1,000 times, but I am not one of those people. I've watched it once. I've watched the first one a couple times. The second one I've seen once. The third one I've seen once. As like I had to do this as a film fan type thing. And yeah. So anyways, Dark Knight is a greatest sequel, and it's close enough to the first one. It's similar, but then it goes even bigger. The city's completely different. It's kind of weird, actually. I never thought about it until somebody pointed it out online. They were like, remember in the first Batman Begins, they tried this whole like futuristic quasi-steampunk city that had like this futuristic tramway. And then in the second one, they were just like, fuck it. Make it Chicago. Who gives a shit? Nobody cares. Which is exactly what they did. Which actually looks better. Which maybe Nolan knew that. Maybe he had to go with like the CGI route. Although they built a whole fucking city. Like inside that gigantic warehouse that you see at the beginning of The Dark Knight Rises, fun fact, that building is where the set for The Batman Begins was filmed. And so they had this whole city built for Batman Begins. If you don't already fucking know this, if you know this already, it's gay. But if you don't know this, yeah, they built a whole city for that thing. And while that's cool, it doesn't look as cool. It looks way cooler in Chicago, where you can see an entire city upward. You know what I mean? Like in the Batman Begins one, they have to kind of like limit it because there's a fucking roof right there. So there's like some CGI there, and I don't know. It does feel more enclosed and more alleyway, which maybe is what he wanted. I don't know. But then in the Dark Knight, it just opens up the whole scope when you just see this massive. I don't know. Maybe the whole cinematography was different. Maybe that's what I'm not noticing, or maybe I'm not noticing it, but that's what I'm noticing without noticing. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Sometimes I don't make sense. Sometimes I'm picturing something in my head and I describe it and I go, nailed it, baby, nailed it. And then I listen back to it and I go, oh, they didn't see like the initial thought in my head that would be helpful in your description, Dalton. So that might happen. But anyways, yeah. So with sequels, you always want a little bit of the same, but enough different to go, oh, this is great. And Deadpool 3 fucking had that. I thought it was great. And it's got some of the coolest action scenes and some of the... I mean, I hate to be a little gay loser, but it is cool to just see those two up there fighting. Sorry if I'm being a little child. Hold on a second. Sorry, I gotta get my water. I forgot it over here. Sorry. If, I forgot this is like a dual straw and open mouth, bass mouth. But anyway, so I hate to be a little kid and fantasize about this or whatever the hell they call it. But it was cool. It looked good when he pulled the mask over, and it looked good when they fought together, and it's just fucking cool. And Hugh Jackman, like I said, he just fucking nails it as he is the... I don't know how anybody else is going to play it, although Cavill looks kind of cool. Henry Cavill, Superman. Again, great cameo, because he's one that, like, when Hugh announced his retirement initially, people kept doing all these fan pics and saying, like, it needs to be Henry Cavill, he's not playing Superman anymore. And it never came to fruition, obviously. So they make a nod to that, where in this alternate universe, Henry Cavill is Wolverine. And he seems like he'd be pretty cool. He only says one fucking thing, so who knows? He might just look exactly like Superman if he'd played it. But he seemed like he had a little bit more of that, like, get the fuck out of here, smoking a cigar. I don't know. It looked cool, though. And it was just great. They had everybody in it from all the movies, so they have enough throwbacks to the first one. Obviously, what's-his-name's not in it. Weasel. I don't know what's going on with him. I want to like that guy because I like TJ Miller, but sometimes that whole rant he goes on about Ryan Reynolds, I'm like, you sound bitter for some reason. I don't know. Maybe he's not. Maybe everybody else just in on the charade because they make a boatload of cash kissing Ryan Reynolds' ass. And maybe he just wouldn't, but I don't know. When I see the TJ Miller says, like, that Ryan Reynolds was kind of a prick and kind of an asshole, I'm like, that sucks. But you're the only one that's ever said that, so I don't know. Everybody was saying that about Harvey Weinstein before that came out. Like, that was a known secret amongst Hollywood. And then... And I wasn't in on Hollywood. I only know that because I've heard other Hollywood insiders say that. They're like, we all fucking knew. God damn, we all knew. So when you listen to these motherfuckers act like they're morally outraged, it's like, hey, don't let them get it twisted. They were like, oh shit, somebody spilled coffee all over my table. God damn it, these children. But, so don't get it twisted. But with Ryan Reynolds, I haven't heard anything yet. But maybe it's the same thing. Maybe we'll have Hollywood insiders be like, he was raping me daily and groping me, and he was always touching my butt and goosing me, which is that thing where they pinch your, like, butthole, or I don't know, they put your finger in your butthole. I'm not sure what it is. I just heard that when I was a kid. I saw that on a pop-up video one time where it was the Macarena, and they said at the end of the video, the guy that is there while the girls are walking by him, he went, whoop, and he gooses her on the butt, and I asked my mom, what does that mean? And she said, it's where you pinch them right on the butt, right by their butt. Hole. I don't know if she said butthole. I doubt it. Sorry to besmirch your memory, mother. But, yeah, so Deadpool, right back to that. So, yeah, TJ Miller wasn't in it. And, but everybody else makes an appearance at least once. And, the story was good. The story was cool. The way they referenced the multiple storylines of the MCU and Sony and merging together, and the way they kind of break the fourth wall and highlight that and self-reference, and it's meta or whatever they talk about. It was cool. And I like the guy that they get to play Mr. Oh, he had a cool name. Mr. Paradox. That's that Tom. He plays Tom from Succession. And he's great in that. But I first liked him in Frost Nixon. I was going to say Frost versus Nixon. Frost versus Nixon. Although it kind of was. But Frost Nixon. He was in that. He was the one of the guys on the team that was with Frost. That was he's the one that runs into the ocean at the end naked. Based on a true guy that really did that, apparently. But anyways, I digress. Frost Nixon, really good movie. You should check that out. But yeah, so that was really good. It was a great movie. It wraps the whole storyline good. The way it ends, it's not like this heartfelt like goodbye to Wolverine or anything like that, and it leaves some unanswered questions for possible future stories. And it's just dope. You gotta go see it if you're a fan of Deadpool 1 and 2. I actually didn't like Deadpool 2 as much. It's got some great moments in it, but obviously I thought Deadpool 1 was... I went and saw Deadpool 1 4 times in theaters. That's how big of a fucking loser I was for that movie. I've never done that for any movie. And I was a cinephile, but for some reason Deadpool tickled my giggle box. And so I went and saw that 4 times. I kept having to show that to people. And so yeah, I went and saw that. That was great. We had a great time. Took my wife. Went and took my wife to go see that, and that was great. We went and saw that for our, not anniversary, but kind of our anniversary. We went and saw that. It was our first date. February 14th, 2016, baby. Valentine's Day. That was our first date. And so, shout out to my wife again for being awesome. And I went and saw that with her, and we had a good time. We took, because he wanted to go. He heard we were going to see it, and he was like, "Can I go?" And I was like, "All right, you little fucker." But our nephew came with us. And we had a great time. He loved it too. He's old enough that he can see it. He's like 14. I made him sound like a little kid. I'm not bringing 7 and 8-year-olds with me to Deadpool. Probably should have been a little bit older, but he was old enough to handle it. He watches The Walking Dead, or used to. Anyways, yeah, so it was good. We had a great time. We went and saw that. What else did I see this week? I saw Knox Goes Away. I saw that one on HBO Max, I think it was. I'm not really sure. That's the one with Michael Keaton. Directed by Michael Keaton, by the way, actually. And that was good. A little slow. I could tell it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be, and it definitely, it ramps up some, thriller, suspense, criminal, kind of psychological thriller moments, and then it never really ultimately pays off. I thought the story was kind of convoluted at the end. He frames his son for the murder that he's helping his son clean up, because his son accidentally killed somebody, and his son knows that his dad is a hitman. So his son calls him and goes, "I need your help, Dad." And then the hitman, I should have given you this first. The hitman has dementia, like this acute onset dementia, and he's got weeks to go, and so he wants to start getting his affairs in order. He accidentally killed his partner in the hitman game. He had a number 2 that he ran along with, and he accidentally shoots him one time, giving away the whole movie here. And then, so he starts to, gets this news that he's got, this rapid onset, acute fucking dementia, and he's going to be, the doctor says, I would get your shit. You got weeks, not months, dude. And so, but then his son shows up and says, "I accidentally killed this guy who raped my daughter, or molested my daughter, one of the two. I think raped. It's heavy stuff." And, so he stabbed him. And so Michael Keaton goes over there, cleans it up, and then all of a sudden, and the whole time Michael Keaton's kind of, he's having these flash outs where and he sees somebody, and then they're gone, or somebody's there, and then they all of a sudden are vanished, and he's like, "Who was I talking to?" And then they reappear. I can see what they're going for. They never fully get you to "Oh my God, that must be what it feels like to be losing." It kind of just looks like your traditional "Oh, they're there," and then they're gone, and then and then they're right back, and the person's like, "Hello, are you okay?" It's one of those kind of things. And never really gets you on, but he definitely does start losing his shit. Because then all of a sudden he just frames he reframes his son. He goes back to his son's house and plants all the evidence at his son's house. And so of course the cops arrest his son and take him to jail. But then it turns out that the cop that's investigating the earlier crime where he accidentally killed his partner and set it up like the guy he was there to kill killed him, or that something happened. The detective starts tracking onto that, then starts tracking the murder, tracks down his son, links the two together, tries to pin them both on the son, starts putting the pieces together and realizes that the son has been framed. And so now they realize that it was the dad trying to frame the son. So then they come and arrest the son for both murders, or the dad, which is Michael Keaton. And they take him to prison. And in the end, the son comes to see the dad to be like, "I'm free, and hard to hate you," and or something like that. And he goes to see his dad, and his dad doesn't remember him, and he's like, "I don't know you. You're fucking weird. Get out of here." He doesn't say that. And it's really sad and melancholy, and then it shows him staring out he's not in a prison anymore. He's clearly in a mental health place, or he's in a facility for the sick and unwell. And he's staring out a window like absent-minded looking, clearly fucking nuts, fucking dementia-ridden, fucking doesn't know his name, his ass from his elbow, as they say. But, yeah. So, but the whole notion of him losing his shit while also framing his son, but making it look like a frame to ultimately set up himself, which is a frame because he didn't actually commit the murder, is a little like, all right. Somebody had a cool idea, and I don't know if they sat down and really thought it through, because, and the way the detective actually figures out a couple of the things is like, she just went on a hunch that in real life they would be like, yo, you are not following the evidence. What the fuck are you doing? And she just randomly connects a couple dots. It's kind of hard in detective movies really now to like come up with some crazy, I mean, they're doing it, and they're obviously going to be able to. But then you're obviously going to run into ones where you're like, I've seen this before. Or where they twist out this plot with a detective and they're like, oh. Somebody brings the detective a clue that gets them back in on the action. Or a ghost shows up and gives them an idea. Something shitty like that. But yeah, it was a decent movie. I liked it. Could have been better, I think. I hate to say that because making a movie is hard as fuck and I'm not sure I could ever do it. And kudos to Keaton for doing what he did. It was great. But yeah, I don't know. It was perfect for streaming, I guess. I should say that. It was good for streaming. I hate shitting on movies because, fuck, I've worked in a couple short films, and just the time of preparation and the planning that has to go in to make a movie is insane. And the logistics of everything and setting up the scenes and the cameras, and you hope that the scene conveys and the camera movements convey an emotion that you want. And I don't know. The older I get, the more I can see, like, wow, that is really a daunting task that can just go wrong in so many different ways. You got so many moving parts. Maybe sometimes why little small independent films with like 10 people work out. Although there's probably a billion of those that didn't work out at all. But yeah. Let's see. Other than that, what did I have to do this week? I had to clean up about 5 million fucking pounds of laundry. God damn. It's a never-ending fucking mountain. Woo! It feels like it never fucking ends, because it doesn't. They just don't stop wearing clothes, and then they need new clothes, and the clothes are always fucking dirty, and they're such little fucking primitive beasts about it that they cram it in corners and throw it in areas, and you find old sweaty clothes or piss clothes with my... Ugh, it's just aggravating. And then when you do the laundry, you do them all at once, and then you got 4 fucking giant piles of laundry that you got to fold up and put away, because if you don't, the kids fuck up the piles, or they don't put them away right away, or they put them away haphazardly, and you got to get on to them about that, and it's just... Woosah. Just never-ending laundry. Oh, it's crazy. And like I said, it's just new laundry. So I'm constantly folding up clothes that just fit my daughter, but now she's 2 sizes bigger than that. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess this goes to the middle one. And then they fight over that. They're like, you put it in my drawer. I'm like, well, because I don't know what fucking size you are. You were an 8 yesterday, now you're a 10, and she was a 10, now she's a 12 or a 1 or 13 or whatever the fuck. I don't know. Now they're in the small. The sizes too are so weird. They go by age until you get to a certain number, and then they start going by sizes with numbers. I don't fucking know. It's weird. You women are weird. Can't you just stick to sizes like men do? Why do you have to... Small, medium, large. Small, medium, large. Small, medium, large. Like, what the fuck? Well, I know kids are different. Even boys have numbers because they grow so fast. So, fuck me and what I'm talking about. Sometimes it makes a little sense. I'm talking about more like women when you get older, like their pant size is different because if you went by inches, fat chicks would know they're fat, and women have a weight thing, so they can't be like, I'm a 30. I mean, I know some women's pants do, but a lot of times a 30 is like a 3 or a 4 or 5 or something like that, you know? Their shoe sizes are different so that they don't seem like they have big fucking man feet. Everything's just a different number gauge for them, except for weight. For now. They'll probably come up with some new system where men are 130 pounds and the same pound woman is 90 Ephraims. I'm 90 Ephraims. Ooh, she's light, baby, under 100. God damn, what are you, 14? Oh, Ephraims, not LBS. That's right. I forgot women have this weird math that they have to do to make themselves feel better. That's what that is, right? I mean, how else? Why else would that be developed? Why would girls have a different number system that's not just inches? Right? I don't know. Your tits are inches. That's funny. You guys kept that one. Or is that inches? Yeah, right? 36 double D. Isn't that 36 inches around? Right? I don't fucking know. I don't know the bra system. What is it? Like, you measure the circumference of the tit, the distance of the tit out, and then what is it? What's the third number? The width of the tits? Is that it? Your overall width, the circumference of the tits? I don't think that's in it. I don't know. If you know what the tit numbers are, give them to me. Somebody does, obviously. They're common numbers. Probably every woman knows what each one of those numbers are. But other than that, yeah, I just had a lot of laundry. Took me about 3 days. Me and my wife. I shouldn't say just me. My wife takes us like... Because we both work and we're both... I'm also distracted with this and I get distracted with things and she gets distracted with things and we're both fucking tired when we get home and god damn it, stop judging us if there's a pile of laundry right there. We'll get to it this week, I promise. And then by the time we get to it, there's another pile that's ready to fucking go. I just can't wait till we're both rich enough that I can go, hello, Esther or Olga? What's going on here? Do I need to get someone in on this? Do I need to hire outside help? What is this? I should never see this. I should be able to throw my clothes on the floor, and when I come back home, they're gone, and then magically in my drawer folded up. Olga? Do I need to call Ivan? Remember how pissed he was the last time you fucked up like this? When you broke that vase that you kept calling a vase? Remember that? Uh-huh. I can't understand you when you speak Russian, Olga. So, yeah. Until I have a helper for my laundry or a maid. I shouldn't say help. I think there's a bad history with that word. But until I have a maid, yeah, I have to do a lot of laundry. When I say I didn't do anything all week, I mean laundry. One thing I noticed at work the other day, I was driving by, and there's a psychic store, a psychic shop, a building that says psychic inside. And then the other day, we're driving in on the radio, they're like, California Psychics, guaranteed positive reading. If your reading doesn't change your life, you get your money back. Does that get somebody? Who calls that? Why would you call that? You know it's not real. Not everybody could possibly, unless maybe the life-changing news is like, you have AIDS. You have a rare form of cancer that no one knows about. Like, oh, that's definitely life-changing. You have 2 kids that you're financially responsible for now. Like, where? Right down the road. But I don't think that's what they mean. I think they mean you're going to be rich. You're going to be powerful. You might be a senator. You're going to be a senator. You're going to have concubines. You're going to be wealthy in ways you've never known. You're going to be just famous. You're going to be... People are going to know your name from here to Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu? Machu Picchu? Pikachu? Machu Pikachu? Something like that? Machu Picchu? Machu Picchu. Kind of sounds like the Little Caesars thing. But how the fuck... every time we drive by that place, I go, how the fuck is that place still in business? How is enough people going in there to get a psychic palm reading or a tarot card reading to pay the fucking rent? God damn. My wife had a business that sold clothes. Discounted clothes. And it failed. We couldn't make the rent. How the fuck is a psychic doing it? Are there that many... God, I really need to cater to the dumb crowd, maybe. Start a business that just is like, astrology readings! Here! Positive news! Guaranteed! Like, what the fuck? How do people not see through that bullshit? Or are people just that fucking dumb? I have noticed that people are that dumb. There are a lot of successful people sometimes that you're like, you hang around them for a little bit and you're like, oh wow, you're just like a dummy, man. You're a dummy that was able to focus on one thing, and that's why you're successful. My boss. Straight dummy. Straight dummy. But he's able to run his business well. He's able to care about that. And it's funny, sometimes we'll be sitting there, and he'll have an issue with work that's a minor issue. And then 20 minutes later will go by, and I've thought about 150 things, and he's like, you see him over there, like, you think they won't know it. That'll be okay, right? That'll be fine. That's like that. and we'll be able to fix it on tomorrow, right? And I'm like, dude, you're still thinking about that? Jesus Christ, you asked me about that 20 minutes ago, and I said, yeah, it's fine, don't worry about it. They're not going to notice. It'll be no big deal. And even if they did, we'll be there in the morning to fix it. And it's not that big of a deal. The only reason you notice is because you're a perfectionist. But that works for him. That makes him run a successful business where he's a perfectionist, and there's rarely ever anything wrong. But goddamn, don't ask him about life questions or like deep introspective questions or political questions or philosophical questions. Don't ask him about none of that. You can't ask him about sports. He knows about golf. You can't ask him about nothing. He's just like very surface level with everything. Just like, huh? But with his business, he's able to. And then I realized like, oh, you don't have to. Maybe being smart's a problem. You can be an overthinker and fuck yourself. Analysis by paralysis, or paralysis by analysis, I should say. So yeah, I just couldn't believe that though. A psychic that was still around. In 2024, there's a psychic store that seems to be doing well. The landscaping looks good. The building's clean. There's a nice clear crystal sign that lights up at night. Out front, the window like labeling and stickers and graphics are all brand new looking and good. It's like, damn, what is the demand on that? Are people that miserable that they're willing to go to a person they know is full of shit? And it's just like, I will tell you good news. Pay me $20. Right? It's crazy. I don't know. Maybe there's enough people that truly believe it. That, I don't know. I do not know. I'll tell you that. But anyways, switching up here a little bit. I've been going on for 38 minutes about these goddamn movies and shit. What the fuck is that? You need to chill out, Dalton. Calm down. Let's talk about some current events. So, yeah, what's going on right now? The Olympics are still going on. I feel like I should touch on something. I have seen some people say real quick that that Last Supper thing was the Feast of Dionysus instead. And I have seen some pictures where, okay, all right, maybe you're onto something there a little bit. But I've also seen other pictures that, no. They were making fun of both maybe, or they were referencing the Feast of Dionysus with the people that were there, that blue guy. But there's a couple there where they're clearly... I mean, that lady standing there with that crown on, or whatever the fuck, the fat chick that's standing there in the middle with the crown that's, like, lighting up or whatever. And that, I don't know, I feel like that's a clear... Jesus is standing in the center with the light blossoming from behind his head. I don't know. I think they were trying to do a double entendre there a little bit, maybe. But either way, why the fuck even come close to that? Why come close to that image with that type of imagery? It's just... unless you're trying to piss people off. And I can't imagine that they're trying to piss people off, but it just sort of seems like, what the hell is this? And I don't want to just harp on it again, because maybe but it was just like, Feast of Dionysus or not, it was fucking weird, and it shouldn't have been there, and they should have figured something else out. They knew having bearded ladies and fucking fat chicks and gothy weird things and fucking clear, like, looks like a drag queen things was not going to go over well. And if they didn't, then they're fucking dumb. Come on now. Come on, y'all ain't that dumb now, is you? I ain't that dumb now. What else? The Olympics. I saw Simone Biles is kicking ass, and Katie Ledecky is kicking ass. I don't really know about too much of the men. Maybe that says something about our news coverage. But I do know that those two are kicking ass, and hell yeah, go USA. I did see that fucking China's got more gold medals than us right now. Like, what the fuck is this? I said that the other week, like, probably gonna be us. Maybe China. What is happening? Doing it. No, that's Japanese, sorry. I don't want to get canceled already. But, why? What the hell? Come on now. It's USA. Can't lose to them. What the hell? Can't lose to anybody. Doesn't matter that it's them. So, that's bullshit. Or unfortunate. This is America. We're supposed to always have the most golds, most successful. That's just the way it is. What the hell? I don't know what's going on with that boxer chick. I saw that she was born a woman. She just has like super high levels of testosterone. But I don't know. I've also seen some things that like her country doesn't allow female boxing or doesn't allow trans people. So maybe she has to say that. Because trans isn't a thing over there, you know? Remember what I was saying? Fucking no! We throw them off the rooftops. Are you fucking kidding me? You know? So, I don't know what's going on with that. I know she looks like she fucks that kid's face up, but that's boxing. So, sometimes you're going to take a shot to the face and you need to be able to protect yourself. Don't stand around crying like a baby. But if it was a man that, pow, cocked her right in the face, I could also understand why she was crying. And if she's got these jacked up testosterone levels that gives her the fucking muscle power and, I don't know, bone structure of a man, bone density, a punch would knock a bitch out. So, you know, I don't know. It's all fucking crazy. It's all crazy. I don't know if it's because maybe we can test better for things that we couldn't before, and so now we can test if they've got a Y chromosome in there, or it's more feasible financially for the Olympics to do that. I don't know. It seems like she's got testosterone levels that are similar to doping. I don't want to disqualify somebody if they were actually born a woman, but that does throw a wrinkle in it that her country doesn't allow trans people. And so she would have to say that she was born a woman from birth with some weird thing that gives her these man-like qualities. You know? I don't know. It just seems a little strange. Seems a little strange. Also wanted to touch on last week. I went off on a tangent a little bit. Went a little ranty. Sometimes I'm full of shit too. Not full of shit, but just I can be wrong, and I can be. Sometimes I'm very in my opinions, and I take a second think back about it. I'm like, maybe I'm not that fucking. Whatever. Like, when I said about the parties switching and stuff, like, I didn't mean to say that, like, parties don't switch and there's not ebbs and flows and stuff like that, but just the common, the switch they talk about, where they talk about the Democrats definitely used to be the racist ones that wanted slavery and segregation, and then that just overnight switched and they all became Republicans, and then the Republicans just became real crafty on how they were going to try to suppress the black people and all this and blah, blah, blah. That shift did not happen. That switch did not happen. Maybe on if you look at the local governments and the state governments and all that, they were heavily Democrat well into the 90s. So maybe at the top level, they managed to get some gains, and the Republicans managed to get the southern states, for the presidency. But they all remained heavily Democratic otherwise, besides that. It's kind of interesting. But, so anyways, I just don't want to say that the switches don't happen and that party interests don't differentiate. I think the Democrats definitely used to be a way more sane party, and they've gone way further left. I think they wanted the same thing as most Americans. They agreed that, like, these things that we all agreed on, Marxism and socialism, and that capitalism was good, and that you needed a strong border and a strong defense, but maybe we needed more social programs, or maybe we needed more coverage for this, or maybe people needed a little bit more help with this. Okay, I can deal with those Democrats. This fucking Democratic Party now has just gone so far leftist and so far Marxist that it's like, what the fuck even are you? Old school Democrats, this wasn't said ad nauseum, but old school Democrats now look like right-wingers. And they'll say that about him. Bill Maher, they'll call him a right-winger. It's like, he has definitely gotten a little bit more right on some things, because I can remember him not too long ago talking about, like, things he wanted in California. And it wasn't until recently, and within the last 5 years, that I remembered hearing him start to bitch about how fucking bureaucratic and much of a nightmare it was in California to do anything. And then he had his solar panel roof that he wanted to build for his shed took 5 years or some shit, or maybe he still hasn't been built, just because of the regulation and all the bullshit you got to handle in doing that and all this nonsense. So I think he has gone a little bit more. I think as you get older, it just happens. You see that, like, oh, wow, just giving out all your money doesn't work. Giving out all your money for these things that you think will help, it actually creates a magnet for people to stay at that level, or it attracts a person that it's just, it gets a person that's in charge of that now they're in charge of all this money, and then they can get more money, and then they get more money, and they can get in charge of more money, and that becomes their primary focus, and blah, 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 blah. You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. When I first heard that, when I saw that movie, I was like, what? But I think it's true. It seems like it. Even if it's only in the eyes of others. You may not always actually become the villain. But people love you right up until they think they shouldn't anymore, and then bam, you're the villain, and they fucking hate you and wanna tear you down, baby. Wanna tear you down like the mighty fucking Goliath. But one thing I saw that came out the other day was the new electric car, not the new electric car, the new Corvette is finally at the ZR1. Woo, baby! 1,064 horsepower. God damn, I'm so excited that the Corvette is just a fucking thing. That's so awesome. That the mid-engine Corvette is a thing. It's I just remember hearing about that for so long, and then they finally did it, and here he is. We got this, and now it's been out for 4 years already. But that car fucking rules, man. Every time I hop in one of those to photograph, I'm like, fuck, they nailed it. This is so cool and so nice, and they drive so cool and so smooth, obviously, and the technology that's in them to make them ride that way at those amount of speeds is fucking insane. But I was excited about that. Hopefully one day I'll be able to afford one of those Corvettes, those mid-engine Corvettes, and be able to pull up to one of those Cars and Coffee, Corvettes and Coffee with those 900 fucking old people. It's funny, one of the dealerships that I do, they do have one of those Corvettes and Coffee meets, and when you show up, it is just a sea of rich old white dudes. It's hilarious. It's just, and they all look the same. They all dress the same. They got the khaki shorts and the button-up collar tucked in, shirt, and the hat that's like the loose-fitting ball cap kind of hat, like a rich person in Cape Cod might wear, out there. And with their sunglasses on and their ugly-ass fucking wives that they've dolled up to thinking they look good, but they don't fucking look good. They all look like a bunch of old whores. And I'm not lying. They look like old whores. Who wants an old whore? I don't. But they like to make their wives look like that, and they drag them around in these Corvettes. And some of these old dudes look like they're in their 80s driving these fucking... There'll be an old man driving one of these ZR1s to one of these Corvette shows. I went to this one place, and this guy had a Callaway Stingray R Corvette. It was like 2022. Mid-engine, orange, metallic, fucking shiny shit. Had the whole full race package and roll bar on the inside. And it was a fucking old man. Old man crawled into that thing, 80 years old. I was like, damn, dude. And then he had his gal crawl into the passenger seat. I was like, and she was an old, ugly bitch. Which even if I was old, I wouldn't have thought she was like, oh, damn, you an attractive old lady. She was an old, fucking, ugly bitch. And but dolled up to the fucking hilt. Had her fucking makeup caked on so that you could almost actually now definitely see every wrinkle. Had the colorful eyes up in here to where this whole section is like blue or red. The whole eyelid is colored. Looking like that fat clown lady from the Drew Carey show. You guys remember that? And not with the hair though, but with that eye makeup kind of. Ugh, it was just... I don't want that. I don't know who wants that lifestyle, but seems to be there's a lot of guys living it, and they all drive Corvettes for some reason. And they all stand around and they're talking, a lot of this. Oh, where have you been? Oh, I just got back from the fucking... Well, I'll tell you what. It's a lot of those type cats, wearing the windbreakers out there that have the big Corvette logo on the back, or the ZR1 or Z06 logo on the back. It's got their name right here, a lot of those kind of guys. Gray hair, white hair, a lot of white hairs out there. All white hairs, no black, not a black hair to be seen. Not one black hair. Somebody gave me $1 billion, go in that crowd and find a black hair and prick it out of somebody's head, I would have been broke. I'd have been $1 billion in debt. Hold on one second. And we're back. Sorry about that, little break with the wife. I look like fucking Neo when they seal his mouth shut in the Matrix. I know. Quick little meeting, a little powwow with my wife. She came by. She's at a church. I was talking longer than I thought I was, and so she showed up right in the middle of it. That motherfucker. I told her not to do that ever, but she did it. So divorce. But yeah. So talking about the old guys, old mans with their Corvettes. But they're gonna be excited about the Z07. What the fuck is it? I forgot. Oh god. ZR1? No. What is it? Yeah, ZR1. That's badass. Oh, the other thing I drove the other day was the new Hummer. The Hummer EVs. I think those bitches are bad. They got the 4-wheel steering. If you turn the wheel all the way one direction or all the way the other direction, all 4 wheels turn. And they ride nice. They drove nice. I like the design on the interior. The infotainment's got this kind of funny, cool, outdoorsy, mountainy theme to it. I liked it. They're good. The design is good. I don't know how good they are mechanically. They might break down every 15 minutes. I've seen a couple videos of them just like not turning on or stopping right in the middle of the highway. I saw one of that. But how many fucking ice engines have broken down? I mean, it happens sometimes, so maybe that's what that was. And it was the first year. How many fucking cars have broken down their first year because of some funky whoopsie daisy, and then they fix that on the next one, and then that's not a problem. That's why you don't ever buy the first year of a car. So I've been told. But if you got a lot of money, who gives a fuck? Yeah, whatever, give me another one. Did you know that in Dubai they have Lamborghinis on the side of the road because those people are so rich that when the car breaks down, they just leave it there and drive off? Like, what the fuck? God damn! So, yeah, anyways, we're kind of getting to the end of the hour, though. I do want to start off, or I want to recap one story over the week that I thought was awesome. Was that Turkish fighter? Let me look up his fucking name real quick. God damn it, I should have had this ready. Damn it, Susie, where are you on this? I got my assistant over here, Susie. She's a dumb broad. She doesn't know anything. There's no Susie. I made that up. What the hell is his name? Yusuf Dikek. Is that how you pronounce it? I hope so. Yusuf Dikek. It's probably something like that. Dikek. Yeah, dude just fucking keeps his hand in his pocket, lines up, both eyes open. Something a little strange about that. He doesn't have to do this. He does this. But, fucking, got silver. Now, I saw this story about him that said that he picked. I knew when I read it that it was too good to be true because it said that after he had a embattled divorce and argument from his wife, he took up shooting and then discovered that he was really good at it. And so he started competing. And it even said that when he won the silver medal, he said, I want my dog back or something, which when I read that, I was like, all right. He didn't say that, did he? And so then I had to look it up, and of course, fake. He was in the Turkish military, and he was a gobbler, which is a high-ranking Turkish military officer. Just above that is, I was going to try to do a turkey voice, but no. So he was in the country military, yeah. So he's got history shooting. He knows how to fire a weapon, but he's just got such a different, unique stance, and his whole he doesn't buy into all the bullshit that all the people have. Which I know that if I took up shooting right now, I would watch all the guys do it, and I would go, okay, I gotta wear the glasses and the sight and the thing and the home and the bing and the bow and the scoop and the conk and all that scoop. I meant to say scope, which I don't think they have scopes. But I would do all that shit, whereas he just shows up, lines up, pow, takes silver. And the other thing in that meme that, fuck, I wish was true, it said, the guy doesn't talk much, he shows up, shoots bullseyes, and then asks for where the nearest smoking section is. Which, that part might be true. I mean, he's Turkish. So, don't a lot of them smoke? And I'm making this up as I go. Maybe Turkish people are very anti-smoking. I don't know. I don't know what the Turkish people's stance is on cigarettes and tobacco and nicotine. But if I imagine that it's pretty lax. I imagine they don't care too much. So hopefully he is a smoker, not for his health sake, but just for the sake of it's a good story that he's just on the sidelines. What is my turn? Hold on. I'll be right there. What's that? My turn? Be right there. Taps it out. It takes that one long. Sure thing. And then walks away, and then just goes up there, hand in his pocket. Except they're fucking, man, if you're going to have shooting in the Olympics, it needs to be shooting. It needs to be, when you got recoil, and then you got to reline up your sights. They should all be out there looking like fucking Dirty Harry standing there. None of this pussy fucking, it's like, the fuck it? What are we shooting, pellets? What are we, 8? What is this, a Christmas story? What are we worried that we're gonna shoot somebody's eye out? Give him a goddamn gun. I want to see that guy line up and be like, and for America is Dalton Dye. He's lining up his sights. Boom! And he took away half the target. Dalton blew away half the target with that first shot. Set him up with a second shot here. Boom! That one knocked him back a couple feet. That's what I want to see. I want to see physical fitness. I don't want to see a guy up there with a goddamn pea shooter. What the hell? What the hell? What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? That's not shooting. That's called air pistoling. I don't know. I can't think of a funny term. That's called airing. That's not shoot. You didn't shoot anything. Well, I guess you did. Fuck. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like it. There needs to be real guns. I want to hear gunshots. Silence them. Make it cooler. Fine. I don't hear them. But at least it's like... You know what I mean? Because silencers don't actually go... That's a myth, I think. Maybe the government has them. I don't know. But I don't... Any silencer or suppressor I've seen, it's like... Like, it's still a gunshot. Just a very muffled version of a gunshot. Unless, of course, you have a pillow. Then it's... Apparently. Who the fuck thought of that? I mean, I'm sure it does muffle a little bit. But... It's a gun. It's a... gun. It's a little mini bomb that just went off in your hand. I can't imagine that a pillow with feathers... I mean, if I shot a goose directly, would it be silent? No. Why the fuck? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I gotta look into this. Let's check this out real quick. Yeah, we're right at an hour. Hold on, real quick. This actually does work with the first shot through a... Oh, wow. Okay. So they did an experiment, and it is 2.5 times quieter. Oh, my life just got a little better, and my wife's just got a little bit sketchier looking forward. But, hopefully she doesn't watch this. But, next time she comes into my show, I'm going to give her the old pistol. But, anyways. Yeah, for the Olympics, it needs to be either pillows or silencers or just fucking let them stand up there with a 6-shooter. I mean, I want these guys to look up there like Red Dead Redemption. Fucking Arthur Morgan up there. Like, I wouldn't put the tower down there. I mean, that's actually more competitive, I think, because with those little ones they got now, you just go. You go. You barely even have to move. I want it to be like. Goddamn hand cannon. You know? Bring the excitement back. Then maybe people won't be talking about these damn trans and gay and drag people dancing all over tables and shit. You know? Bring back the excitement. Bring back danger. I want every once in a while his gun backfires. You know? I'm willing to take a stand. I'm willing to die on this hill. I want every once in a while he gets pissed and goes, you know what? Fuck. Boom! And he shoots his competitor. God, that'd be nuts. Could you imagine that happened to the Olympics? Maybe that did happen, and that's why they banned it. Because somebody somewhere was like, you guys gave me a bullshit gun. Oh, fuck! And shot the guy. 10 points to 10? You have got to be kidding me! Player 2 just shot the referee. Short break. We'll take a short break, clean up the dead body, and we'll be right back with rounds 2 and 3. Up. He's done it again. Dalton has shot another referee. When will we get rid of the real guns? Or will we at least arrest this man? I mean, I think at this point it's murder. He said the first one was an accident, but both of the accidents were right after a referee kind of gave him the shaft. So I'd say he had motive. But, yeah, anyways, I would like to see... I'm going to end this episode there. I want to see real guns in the Olympics. I want to see them all shooting .45 revolvers. Okay? Call your local congressperson, do whatever you can, make it happen. So we can see if this Turkish feller really is as good as he says he is. Or maybe, then we'll start getting some real John Wayne Wild West fucking US of A, god damn it, out there. But I'll show you what shooting is, boy. Put that target out there again. I don't know why I make them all sound like that, but actually they'd probably be like, put the target up. I'm gonna go have lunch. Then you really see your fucking badasses out there pulling it off. You ever seen them motherfuckers? They're like, pow! And they do it faster than you can even like blink. It's kind of crazy. Fuck. One last story that I'm going to end on before I quit is that I saw the submarine. I saw an animation of those submarine people that died on that Titan going down to look at Titanic or whatever the fuck. And yeah, it was definitely Titanic, right? And they died in 20 milliseconds. It takes 150 milliseconds for your brain to feel pain. So even if I shot myself in the dick, it would take 150 milliseconds for that pain to reach my mouth. Or my mouth. It would take 150 milliseconds for that pain to reach my brain. And so if I was in that submarine and I heard the first crack and then shot myself in the dick, I wouldn't feel either. Isn't that crazy? In fact, I could have went bam, 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 and shot myself in the dick 7 times. And I wouldn't have felt it right before the crack. Bam, 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 bam. Maybe that's what he was doing that broke the hole. Maybe he's the one that caused it. The main guy was like, fuck this. Boom! Shot himself. And then he was still dead before he killed himself. Isn't that crazy? Well, I guess he still killed himself if he shot a hole out of the submarine. But think about that. If you'd shot a hole out the submarine and then turned the gun and shot it on yourself, the hole would have killed you faster. Or maybe not killed you faster, but you wouldn't have felt it. You would have felt that, right? Insane. Just insane, the amount of pressure that was on that thing that just, hey, what's that? Boom! Gone. Everything gone. Just missed. That's probably gone too, because the pressure is so great that it's just like, nope, you don't exist down here. And it just crushes it. I don't know. I just saw that and I was like, oh, well, at least they were died before they could have possibly known about it. They literally, they couldn't have even felt the pain to know about it before it was over. Huh? That quick. Huh? What? Huh? Probably that. Probably, it was probably a thought that he had. He probably heard the noise, the first noise, and was like, huh, and then dead. Huh, dead. What's that? Dead. You know? Wow, that's moving. That's fast. That's pressure. Think about how bad it hurts your ears at 10 feet. Now add 8,990 of them to it. Like, gosh. Or more than that. It might even be more than that. I think it was like 80, what was it, 3,800 meters? What is that? 9,000, 11,400? 11,400 feet, 2 miles, 2 miles down. Jesus Christ. No wonder. Dead. Oh. Then you get in all kinds of questions about whether or not they knew about it, because even James Cameron said he heard the recording and was like, oh, yeah. Implosion. Gone. Dead. So. I do not know. It's kind of a little interesting story. A little side bit. Maybe we'll touch on that on a later episode. Let's see. I'll go over everything I got. Let's see. Do I got anything that I wanted to touch on that I did not touch on? Let me check it out. Oh, one thing I did want to check out. Maybe I'll check on this next week. So, anyways, I think that's going to do it for episode 19. This is the Dies Cast. Thank you for sticking with me this whole time. If you did. If you didn't, fuck you, because you won't hear that because you didn't stick around. But if you did, I love you. Thank you. We will be back again next week for episode number 20, baby. The big 20. And maybe we'll do something fun for that, or maybe I'll try to do something fun for that this week that I can talk about next week or something. I don't know. So, but anyways, I'm going to end this episode there. A little bit of a longer one today. I love you guys. Have a good week. Stay pretty. Stay awesome. Stay classy. I don't know. I'll think of something fun to say at the end of the show. Love you guys. Bye. Peace.